Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So today, it's cold, it's winter's upon us, and Christmas market season. So I've got another Christmas market to do in a couple weeks. So I thought I would make up some of these. These are stocking hangers. They hang on the mantle, and the stocking hangs below here. This just rests. I can show you here on the anvil. This just rests on your mantle, and then when you put some weight on it, like so. So depending on the mantle, this works up to about 2 inches thick. If you have a thicker mantle, 3 or 4 inches, you're going to need to bring this down so that this hook gets below without interfering here. So I make mine to just fit a 2-inch mantle. It seems pretty standard. And then you just pull them back until they make contact, and yeah, they'll hold your Christmas stocking. It really doesn't matter how much weight you put in them. It's considerably sturdy. I've seen other style ones that sit on top of the mantle, and you put too much weight on them and they tip over. So this style here is really meant to take a good amount of weight. You can see I'm putting a lot of force on that, and it's not slipping off. So pretty simple project. 3/8 round bar by 20 inches long. You're gonna come up with your own dimensions based on your bending jig. So I'm bending the hook end around this jig, which is a 2-inch circle diameter, and then I'm bending this scrolled end on a jig that I made here. So if you've not seen a scrolling jig before, the way it works is you bend your little eye hook on the end, and it hooks in there at the top, and then you start to work your way around. And you can see here that I leave it slightly open, and that's just again to help work with a 2-inch mantle piece. If you're going for a different size mantle, then different size scrolling jig would be in order. Or extend this down longer so it's more vertical before this gets back and underneath. But basically your hook has to be underneath the pivot point, and still you need to have clearance here for whatever thickness of table or mantle that this is sitting on. Anyways, pretty simple project. Taper the ends, and 20 inches of bar in my case, and we'll go from there. Heat up the end of your bar with half-face blows. Just put a quick taper on the ends. So we'll go from square to octagon, and then we knock off each of the corners. And we end up with round. Sort of a glancing brushing motion almost to put the hook on the end. Just a simple scroll there. Pull the tip of the hook off so we don't deform it, and bend that over the 2-inch radius. left my brush too close to the fire the other day, and this was the result. So I got a new one on the way. So over to the other end, just to repeat the same thing. So there's your octagon. Even at a black heat, you can round these off now. One thing I noticed is that when you start to knock the corners off, if you start at the tip and work your way back, the tip will twist. Whereas if you start back here where you've got the wider base and work your way out to the tip doesn't tend to twist. It's rather aggravating when it does. So now we'll heat the end up and then we'll bend the scroll in the opposite direction. So again, you cool the tip off, hook it over here on the jig, starting up. The jig's flared like a fishtail, so you can start up a little higher, and then you can move it down the jig. And then this is where a gas forge actually is handy. It's one of the few times that a gas forge is a little more convenient than the coal forge, and that is to heat the remainder of this bar up. In the coal forge, I have to do this in 2 or 3 heats, whereas in the gas forge, I can push this right in, right up to here, get the entire thing red hot, and then bend it all in one go. Anyways, gas forge is not running today, so back in the forge we go. And then you don't need to cool the tip down anymore because you're far enough away or far enough around this jig that the tip doesn't see as much force. So now back in the fire again. Just got to keep repeating this process until we walk down the bar. Just use the other one as a template. Yep, and we're there. So very nice to have jigs when you're trying to replicate your work. So now we're pretty much at a black heat. I'm just going to push that right into canola oil, and that'll blacken it up. I'm low on canola oil. There you have it. One stocking hook for the mantle for Christmas. Yeah, so if you're looking for a project for Christmas, not sure what to do, you'll have to make yourself a couple of bending jigs. You could freehand this stuff as well. When you want to make multiples of the same thing though, nice to have some bending jigs. You'll keep those jigs for as long as you're blacksmithing, and then pass them along to somebody else at some point. They'll last you a long, long time, and just allow you to make more consistent work. So thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon with something else.